Greetings, Supervisor, and welcome back to Retro Flashback Plays StarTopia. It is with utter exuberance and jubilee that I welcome you back to this fine video series. As you may recall, last time we did an utterly competent job at dealing with the Grey Council, and now we must build another station for the Tog Collective, which we will undoubtedly do in the most exquisite manner possible. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up that Val impression for the whole series, but we'll see what happens. What's up, everybody? So yes, indeed, off we go to deal with the Tog Collective. Got a bit of a different objective this time, as is the case with most of these missions, as you'll see here.
So, you've become an employee of the Tog Collective. It's not so much a job, more a way of life. Anyway, your task is to set up a cargo trading facility. You must then trade with any passing merchants and store 100,000 energy. Should be easy meat for someone of your caliber.
Tasty,
the
easy
Togs
meat.
have provided these hard-planned facilities, and generous souls that they are, will credit you with 50,000 energy when you build the energy collector.
Indeed. So here we go. So yes, this time, 4 Scuzzers to start. So this is when the game opens up a little bit, though not fully. So our objective this time out is going to be to get ourselves a cargo trading facility set up and deal with traders on a fairly frequent basis in order to get ourselves 100,000 E in reserve. So not in held cargo value, which is a mistake I have made in the past, but in actual stored basically money in the bank. So that's going to be our main goal this time out. And this is where things get a little bit interesting, because trading is as you will see, is a very, very big part of this game. It is a rather huge thing, and this gives you a very good introduction to it. So this is where things are going to get interesting. So we actually have to maintain entertainment for people and hire a bunch of staff and everything else, but we also need to do trading as well. So stuff's getting a little more interesting. So here's a bunch of other stuff.
News, the ever-gracious Togs are providing 2 additional segments, which you can occupy on this station. You will need to expand early in order to build a star dock, one of which has been delivered along with additional amenities.
So yeah, I know they're bored. We'll get there. So we got 2 new segments here. So yeah, star docks are what allows you to bring in ships. They're also friggin' humongous, which you guys are going to see shortly here. So let's get some of these other basics in progress here. Let's get a can and a place to eat. Let's put them beside each other, because what the hell, right? And a comm sensor, which we also need in order to say hi to the traders and get them in the door. And then, yeah. As you can see, the Star Dock is one big mother. So, you're going to drop it more or less in the middle here, because you need the wall space, as you're going to see later on. We're going to need the wall space to actually store our cargo bays, which is where we're going to keep all the stuff that we buy, sell, trade, and actually manufacture, which we'll also get to. So this is our little droid recharger, which we'll just stick that over there. So we also need to hire some of, yeah, that'll work. We need to hire a couple of Targs to man the comm sensor in order to get people to talk to us and come in here. So having 3 is the optimal way to run it. And wow, actually, we actually had some really skilled guys there. And obviously we got to build a place, for these guys to stay in. So we don't want to go too bazungas with this, because we want it to be a decent size, but we don't want it too big. So let's drop this down. Put some TVs on the wall, because everybody loves TVs. We'll put a couple of clocks, a couple of lamps, and of course a point of ingress, and away we go. Alright.
If you hire some Tog communications experts, you'll be able to receive trade.
I'm way
credit.
ahead of you there, Val.
Then you can start dealing with any passing merchants. Administrator, I urge you to note the race of any merchants you deal with. Each race has certain goods they see cheap and others they pay a lot for.
Right.
I have observed that our friends the Greys often sell medical equipment at lower prices than the other trading races.
So that is a fairly important thing. You're going to be dealing with traders from the various different galactic races, all of which have their preferences, things they prefer to buy, sell, and trade, and that is ultra critical in order to ensure that you get the best prices. So as you can see here, we also need to build some entertainment facilities because people are bored. Oh yes, we got free segments up here too. Sadly, we don't have anything to do that with right now.
Sometimes other travelers pass by your station. If you want to attract such passing
So, and
trade,
as you can see here,
build entertainments and fancy accommodation. Word will soon spread of the facilities on your station, and
so yes. Okay, so here comes a gray. So I sell sick bays, medical supplies, and equipment. I'm particularly interested in competencies and items of a luxury nature. So we'll bring him in so I can show you this, but unfortunately there's not much we want to trade with him right now because if you don't have a cargo bay, anything that you trade with them will just get beamed onto the floor of the station. And if I recall correctly from my original playthrough of this, cargo that's just left on the floor will actually degrade over time. And if it's not kept in a cargo bay, it will eventually deteriorate and be useless.
More than other traders, so perhaps wait for a merchant to come along rather than buy from him.
Yeah.
Although my memory banks show that there are a few items he offers exclusively. You'll just have to use your judgment.
So yeah. Oh, there he is. So yes, Arona is basically a rip-off artist. You generally don't want to buy from him unless you have to, so I'm not going to bother this time out. However, I will take a Scuzzer because more of those is always better. So as you can see here, a trader has arrived. They have stuff we can get. I think I may actually acquire a sick bay because that will be helpful. Sick bays actually do make money. And you see here they sell a bunch of medical supplies, which is probably worth hanging on to.
Do not neglect visitors to your station. They're a good source of additional income, especially if you remember to provide them with some.
Well, I'd love to, Val, but we don't have anything
You
yet.
can build cargo supplies in a factory provided with the right technology.
So yes, this is the next big step of things. Is we will actually have later on the ability to build a factory and make our own stuff. So you can actually build stuff both for your own use and for to sell to people, which is where things get pretty cool. Gives you a lot of ability to do different things. Ah, yes. So a siren. So this is someone we very much want to deal with because they not only sell a whole bunch of very useful supplies, or entertainment supplies, which is something that we most certainly need a lot of on this station right now, but they will also buy our medical supplies, which we definitely want as well. So we are also right now going to get ourselves a decent sick bay up and running because sick bays make fat bank, yo. And put an image projector here and here. Yes, we need a door, don't we? There we go. So here's a merchant ship. So as you can see, the price of the medical supplies is higher. These little smiley faces are a very easy gauge as well. It basically shows how much things are being sold for and bought for and if that's worthwhile. So let's get ourselves a love nest and a disco. Those are good things. Those will be very helpful. So as I said before, or was saying before, oops, here we go. So yeah, you want to get a cargo bay pretty much as soon as possible because leaving stuff on the floor is not a good idea because it will eventually degrade and fall apart and become valueless. So you need to be really, really careful about that.
Here's a simple yet useful hint. You can store cargo much more efficiently if you can...
I may be wrong about that. That is something I'm actually just kind of remembering from memory. But I do seem to recall that back in the day that cargo would fall apart if you left it sitting. So you really wanted to make sure that you didn't do that. Because otherwise you could just leave stuff piled up on the floor, and who wouldn't want to do that, right? Alright, so let's build our space brothel here. We'll put in some space TVs for them to watch their space porn on. Actually, let's not put a chronometer in there because I don't want people to know how much time they're spending in the space brothel.
Looking pretty good, eh? And I've got some goods that'll make your eyes fall out and roll around the floor. And when you hear how cheap I'm selling them, your ears will drop off and slide back and forth as well.
Sure, Arona, why not? So star motels and general stores are also pretty good, but as you can see, all of this stuff is obscenely overpriced. I think we're going to wait a little bit on that. I am, however, once again, going to buy another Scuzzer because they're not incredibly overpriced, and in this game, trust me, the more Scuzzers, the better. Let's get ourselves a disco. This is one of my favorite structures in the game. One, because it's easy to build. You literally just build the disco, put a door in it, and away you go. But once it's done, it's a really cool thing. You guys are going to see. I really like it. No, that gray's no good. You need doctors with skill around this place. So stuff's getting along here. So even though this is principally a cargo mission, initially you do have to still get your facilities up and going, which does take a little bit. Black market goods. Ooh. And he sells cargo bays, which is good. We do need cargo bays. So yeah, this is what's awesome about the disco. Because it not only looks cool when you zoom in on it, it actually mutes the soundtrack and plays its own thing. So you get to see all your little station inhabitants dancing along to the space disco. And also, look at this DJ! Look at this DJ! It's like a crazy frog pimpin' guy who floats around in an anti-grav pod made out of speakers and turntables. And look at that awesome friggin' mic he's got. Like, is this not fantastic? Ah, I love the disco. It's so cool. It's ridiculous, but it's really cool at the same time. Alright, so this guy's got a cargo hold, which, yes please. Black market goods are a weird thing because no particular race actually directly wants them, but you want to make sure that you keep an eye on the price of them, because if you get them, you can actually get some pretty decent value out of it. But yeah, you've got to be careful about it. We're not going to do it just yet because it's a little expensive.
Consider keeping some energy in reserve for buying goods to trade. You spend it all,
yes.
Later earning power could suffer. I suggest keeping 10,000 spare.
That's a good idea.
There is a solar flare in progress.
Yes, let's redo that. You definitely want to be careful with the energy. If it gets too low, you can actually have Arona turn into like a space Tom Nook, where he'll basically be like, "Oi there, would you like a little bit of a loan? I'll give you 2,000 E and only want 25% interest on it." And yeah, he's basically a space rocket here, but it can be... I don't remember ever necessarily needing that when I played my original game. Maybe I did in later missions and I'm just not remembering, but it could be rather... it can be good if you get in a real bind.
Recording, how's it going now? Oh, I got some stuff I just know you'll fall in love with. Why don't we cut a deal? Buy from me
Diesel wine?
and I'll bottle of vintage diesel wine from the planet Terra.
Nah, I don't think so, bro. Maybe later. Yes, so here's the Salt Hog. Recyclers, factories, and industrial crates. I'm gonna buy some stuff from him, because, yeah, recyclers and factories are both very, very useful things, obviously, for both building and making some money off your garbage, so we're gonna get those. And industrial crates are a pretty useful thing as well. Yes, so here's the cargo hold I bought. So this is a critical thing. Cargo holds have to go up against walls because you can see they're a very vertical structure. And these don't count because these can be opened later. So this is a rather important thing. You also, if you're going to be building stuff out of a factory, you kind of want, if you can... let's get those industrial mats because those are pretty useful. If you're going to be building a factory, it is... definitely very good to keep it near here if possible, because while you can always pick up and beam stuff into the cargo hold if you want, of course, for whatever reason, you seem to be the only one who's able to use the teleporter. You can't just go to one of your minions and go, hey, yo, here's the teleporter controls, you know, don't be stupid with it. So if you don't pick up and teleport stuff into the cargo hold, your scuzzers will do it. And they can do it, but they're very, very slow at it and inefficient. So you don't always have the time to do that for them, but it's good to have the means to have them or to minimize their travel route, to make it a little easier to deal with that. I just realized I didn't hire any space hookers, so I should probably get some people in there, yeah? Ugh, these guys are all really poorly skilled, though. I do like the fact that the game makes it very easy to click on a potential employee, look at its stats, and very quickly be like, nah, I don't want this, and just back out very quick. I like that a lot. Sick bays, medical supplies, and equipment, that helps. So yeah, it's good that you can very quickly move in and out on this. So I've got all this stuff in the pattern buffer, so as you can see, we're just going to beam it out here. This makes stuff go pretty well. So this is actually the hard plan for the factory. Now you can keep things like hard plans. It's not just all these generic, you know, luxury goods, industrial goods, cargo items like that. You can keep things like hard plans, technology, scuzzers, things like that, and that will add to your value, and you often can turn that stuff around for a hefty profit, because you've seen certain species are looking to buy certain types of items, right? So that can be very, very useful. Probably not going to do that just yet, because it is a little early for that, but let's buy some more medical supplies that we can turn around. So anytime somebody comes in, you can click on their hail and just click the X button to say, no, I don't want you here. So you can cycle through merchants much more quickly if you want to do that. You don't have to accept every merchant who comes through wanting to say hi.
It's me again, your old pal, Arona.
Somehow, too, Arona is able to talk to you even if you don't have a space dock and a comm, or not necessarily a comm transmitter, but even if you don't have a space dock, which I always thought was kind of funny. Ugh, what a rip. So you can see here lots of frowny faces, which basically means, yeah, he's not worth it. If you're really in a bind, it can be sometimes, but in general, yeah, not worth it. As you can see here, you can also fill up the cargo bay fairly quickly. If you do fill it up, obviously you need more to make sure that you don't drop stuff on the ground. There's another siren. I do wish you didn't... one of the little quirks about this game is I do wish you could just respond to somebody's hail by just clicking the button and not having to listen to their little vocalized spiel, because it never changes. There's no variety to that, which is kind of a bummer. But at the same time, you know, I really love some of the... Even though that quirk's a little weird, though it wasn't that unusual in 2001, I love some of the attention to detail. Like, look at this fancy animation for when guys are docking in that. Like, they really didn't have to do that. They didn't even have to have a dock at all. They could have just said, you know, a merchant ship is here, but it's a fairly fancy animation and it actually looks really nice. Something they didn't have to do, but it's one of these really nice touches. So you see the sirens love their medical supplies, so this is a good deal for us. So we're gonna sell that out. And as you can see, all the stuff just teleports right out, and it's fine. You don't often have to have your scuzzers move stuff around unless it's from a factory or something of that nature.
Your inventory is worth approximately 6,000.
Which, by the way, I am falling behind on my staffing duties because we got that factory built and we don't have any salt hogs in it. What the hell's wrong with us? So I'm gonna get the factory stocked up with some duders here to run it. Probably going to need to hire some more later as well to build a recycler, which I don't think I ended up buying, did I? I wasn't paying attention, so oh well, that's okay. We're doing just fine at this point. So, ooh, this guy's you're going to be a killer factory worker. You will build the fastest. Any of you guys a little bit better skilled at stellar lovemaking? Because I really need some more space brothel people. Yeah, you're all right. What are you into? Comm sensors, cargo bays, power boosters, and black market goods again. He's interested in industrial stuff. Okay. So we're going to work on this. So this is what's kind of cool about this mission. Yeah, you want to build up 100,000 E,
You have run out of a type of cargo.
but you can do kind of whatever. You can do it in multiple ways, right? You can do it by trading, and that's the principal way they do want you to do it in this mission. But you can build lots of amusement facilities, medical facilities, you know, lavatrons, and everything else, because you charge for everything here, basically. So you have a lot of opportunities to build the stuff up kind of the way you want, which is neat. Got lots of industrial materials that he's gonna like. Let's get ourselves a comm sensor, because I believe there was another species that liked that. Yeah.
It's me again, your old pal.
Yeah, hi, Rona. See, unfortunately, as good as the speech and stuff is in this, it's definitely not. It repeats too much, which is kind of a bummer, because it is really good stuff, but it definitely overdoes it. Okay, a general store will help bring in some extra money, and the pricing is actually pretty decent on it, so let's get ourselves our other scuzzer here. Let's go up to the general store, drop it. Oh no, wait, that's a comm sensor. Here's the general store. Pardon me. Pardon me. Robot, I need... Get out the way, I need that. Alright. Let's get ourselves a store. Go to the Space 7-Eleven, fools. Spend some money. Get some space taquitos. Taquitos. So, I was mentioning before that I only needed a certain number of staff for something. So, I believe I talked about this in a previous episode, but a lot of structures need a certain minimum number of staff, but if you overstaff them, it'll ensure that because people work in shifts, so if you overstaff it, it will ensure that they don't the facility doesn't go unmanned during certain periods. So if you want to keep something chugging away all the time. So we're going to look at the factory here. So as you can see, there's all the different categories of stuff you can build. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of stuff right now. We don't have a lot of hard plans. We can build equipment, which isn't worth a lot. We can build some technology. Can't build any droids. So basic cargo is the big thing that you're going to want a lot of. Hardware, industrial supplies, and luxury goods. That's what really brings in the big money. So we're going to queue some of that up. And you're going to see here, basically, once the factory's done, it's just going to spit the cargo out to the side, probably over here or something. And you want to make sure that, if possible, that you have this thing located near your cargo bay so that your scuzzers won't have to travel very far to move stuff around. If you have the means, it's best to just beam everything up and beam it in here to be as quick as possible, but that's not always doable, and as you'll see later in the game, you often have to really multitask. So comm sensor, not really worth it. So as you can see here, mineral ores, industrial materials, as you can see, really, really good price for the most part, so I'll probably pick some of those up to sell on later. Mineral ores, really good price as well. I don't think I'm going to bother with your scuzzer right now. I think we're well enough equipped on that.
The merchant ship has departed.
We'll drop all this stuff in. Yes, Arona.
It's me again, your old pal. Now, seeing as we got a special relationship, I would let you have first.
This is all pretty much...
Taste.
Don't waste my time, duder. Seriously. So here you go. You can see the factory's operating. It's dropping stuff out. And you can monitor your build production here through the queue. And the scuzzers are going to come grab stuff and move it on for us. So I can either just do this
solar flare has ended.
and drop it in, or if not... Hey, where are you going? So this is a gray. Sick bays, medical supplies, and equipment. He's interested in comm sensors and luxury items. Well, we're building luxury goods right now, and I happen to have a mint condition comm sensor on hand. Isn't that convenient? So, this is where we're going to start building up some good money. I'm going to queue up some industrial goods. Sadly, you can only build 9 items at a time, which is kind of a bummer. But you can have multiple factories on the go if you want, which makes it nice to be able to have a lot of stuff going at one time, which is always kind of nice.
A merchant ship has docked.
So look at that. Look at that price on that comm sensor. Very, very good. So... Oh, actually, is it luxury goods that we're building? I thought it was. Oh, no, it was hardware supplies. Shoot. Okay,
The merchant ship has departed.
That's fine. Someone will come along for that hardware stuff soon enough. Alright. So stuff's chugging along here pretty well, I'd say. Overall, eh? The berths seem to be doing a pretty big business.
Indicate your inventory is worth approximately 9,000 E.
Hang on, I did that the wrong way. So I'm gonna build a couple more here. Can squeeze in a few more. There we go. I can always take these things out too if I need more space. So there we go. So it's just chugging along. I'm going to mention this probably in an annotation earlier in the video too, guys, but this is a pretty good point to bring this up. So some of these missions, these later ones, can get pretty long. We're talking north of an hour here. And I know, despite the fact that you can resume videos on YouTube, some people kind of don't like super, super long videos. So what I'm going to do is some of these missions... medical equipment, yes. So some of these missions, what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to do every mission largely in one playthrough, unless they go super long. But what I'm going to do is the episodes that run long, I'm going to split up into different sized chunks. Probably going to try to keep them around half an hour. And I know a lot of Let's Players who do that anyway, but put like their intros and outros on the end of every half-hour episode, which personally drives me nuts. I hate having to see that so frequently. So if I have a mission that's, say, I don't know, gets split up into 3 episodes, I'm just going to put the intro on the first episode and the outro on the last. And other than that, they'll just be fade-outs and fade-ins so that... Oh, good. So that everybody can move along much more quickly and flow with the series a little bit more. I figure that'll just make it easier for everybody. So that's kind of how I'm going to go about doing that. I'm also not going to be like... It also is going to save me from having to figure out, oh, I guess I better stop here. I will see you next time. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep playing. And at certain points in the missions...
the merchant ship has departed.
Where it's a good time to switch between episodes, I'll just fade out, fade back in, and that's how we'll do that. So... just so you guys are aware of that. And it should make things a little bit easier for everybody. I personally don't mind long-form videos on YouTube, but I seem to be in the minority on that. I don't know why. Very weird. Alright, so we're chugging along here pretty well. We need ourselves another merchant soon, I think. Probably use a couple more doctors too, just to keep the sickbay motoring along. You don't want any deaths, because even though you can charge for just about everything in this game, like you can charge for, you charge for your medical care, for your sleeping pods, for everything else, you do have to pay 1,000 E every time somebody dies, or 2,000 E, which is not great. Industrial crates. Well, sir, have I got a deal for you. Might be able, if we really knuckle down, we might be able to get some more in and really milk this guy. I mean, come up with a prosperous trading arrangement. Yes. That's it. Make sure the med bay is very well equipped at all times.
Indicate your inventory is worth approximately 15,000 E.
So, I might be able... Can I squeeze another diagnostic unit in here? I can. I can put 2 in here, in fact. Excellent. More sickness equals mo E. They say mo money is mo problems. I disagree. I do need to
ship has docked.
I do need to get myself a recycler, though. I could definitely use that. Make some extra money. Sadly, my salt hogs are taking their sweet time getting to the factory, so I'm not going to get more produced for them, I don't think. But we can still sell 10, which is pretty good. There were people who liked comm sensors. I'm going to try to buy 2 of his black market goods as well, just to see if I can find somebody to sell them to later. Because I know that's kind of the thing with black market goods, is you kind of just have to hold on to them and wait until somebody buys them from you. But when they do, you often will get some really, really fat bang for it.